Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our first edition of English News Report. We bring you a few stories from the entire message believers around the world in this last month of 2017. The elder of Voice of God Fellowship Church in Sheffield, Brother John Mukanganwa, has been ordinated as pastor. This took place in front of the whole congregation, joyously clapping as their beloved brother is now a pastor. Serving God has been his desire for too long, and now he has been given the opportunity to dedicate his life to the service of the Lord. As great joy fills the whole, Brother John will take the heavy burden of being one of the few shepherds to lead the flock of Christ towards the heavenly gates.
When you give him that position, God begins to use him in that office. Amen. You just call him brother, he's a brother to you. If you want to hear from God through him, Pastor, that respect you have for him will cause God to bless you through him, because that's a channel of his operation.
A new mobile phone application has been developed by the Voice of God to place the Word of God before everything in our mobile phones. The application is designed to give the Word of God priority over the huge amount of information that fills our social media every day. Stories, documentaries, and testimonies can be found on the application to strengthen the bride of Christ.
Hey kids, we need to pray.
The church Mamelodi Tabernacle of Pastor Israel Nkodima in Pretoria organized a great convention of the Word of God, uniting many guests from different countries. The main topic was, "Fear not, those with us are much more than those with them." And the subtitle was, "The Supernatural Aspect of the Seventh Seal." The manifestation took place at Tshwane University of Technology, situated at 30 kilometers outside Pretoria. Details will follow in the next news report. President Donald Trump has recognized Jerusalem as the sole capital of Israel. The announcement brought anger among Arabic countries, rejecting the decision on one side, and great joy for Israel on the other side. It's indeed an historical day for Jewish people. We have more details in this coverage.
Donald Trump moved quietly and determined to make a declaration with unknown consequences.
Today, we finally acknowledge the obvious, that Jerusalem is Israel's capital. This is nothing more or less than a recognition of reality.
This is Jerusalem, the controversial city recognized by Donald Trump and the United States as the sole capital of Israel. It's called the Holy City, one of the most sacred places on earth. Jews, Christians, and Muslims live here side by side. It's presently divided in two. The western side is taken by the Jews, and the Muslims occupy the east. It's since 1980 that Israel declared it as its capital city. However, the United Nations rejected and ignored Israel's claim. Donald Trump did not stumble upon his words. His speech was so clear. He therefore decided to move the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. The decision came as an unexpected storm for everyone. The Middle East and all Arabic countries are shaken by the decision. Anger and frustration are fueling protests everywhere. Meanwhile, Israel and their prime minister are enjoying their victory. It's an historical day. Thank you, President Trump, for this brave decision. We shall forever be thankful to you, said Benjamin Netanyahu in a short speech given just after the great announcement.
Israel will always ensure freedom of worship for Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. President Trump, thank you for today's historic decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. The Jewish people and the Jewish state will be forever grateful.
Behold the location of the entire issue, where lays the tension, center of all biblical prophecies. We are in eastern Jerusalem, the exact place where the Temple of Solomon was located before being destroyed 2,000 years ago. The place is nowadays occupied by Muslims, and according to prophecies, this mosque should go down to give place to the most awaited Temple of Solomon. Here is the sample of the temple to be constructed, ready and well kept behind glass, waiting for the moment to arrive. As soon as you see these things taking place, remember that the end draws nigh, says the word of God. Donald Trump's declaration forced all Arabic countries to unite against Israel, and the tension is rising. Is this going to fulfill prophecy? All lights are blinking red, and something is surely on its way.
The Church Tabernacle de la Parole in Kinshasa is going through a critical moment after the resignation of their pastor. Brother Paul Mpoi decided to leave his function as pastor of the church after a complaint was lodged by few brothers a while ago. The church is without a pastor for now and is led by a group of brothers. Our reporter in Kinshasa has got something for us.
Dieu m'a appelé. Dieu m'a donné ce ministère pour votre bon travail.
His departure was predictable to everyone according to the attitude observed in the church for a long while. It started with the resignation of team members one by one, then Pastor Paul Mpoi had no other choice than to give up his office. He announced his resignation in the church on Friday the 15th of December, leaving behind him a community ready to explode, believers divided among themselves and fighting one another. Among many reasons given for this departure, we noticed long and repeated absences from the church and another delicate story involving the previous pastor, Clément Boa. While the leading team is dissolved, this is the man in charge of the church for the time being, Brother Maurice Kayim. We've been told that an urgent meeting was organized last week to discuss the future of the church, but that was another unfortunate occasion to create more discrepancies. The community is now fighting about who to place where, and that is creating division. Some are demanding Pastor Etienne of Bakongo, others want Pastor Prince Simba of Rocher Blanc Tabernacle, while even another group prefer Pastor Rocher Masanga of Cape Town. Former ministers of the church are against the idea of getting someone from outside to lead the church. They count more on elders of the church like Jean Baya. Meanwhile, believers don't want to come to church anymore and it's getting empty. And Brother Clément Boa can sit back and relax and just watch. In a post on his Facebook page, the former pastor of Tabernacle de la Parole boasts about the progress of his new church, situated on Bypass Road, and talks about unfair judgment of the 2016 story. That brings all these consequences among those that rejected glories. A general meeting for every church member is planned for the coming days to settle any arising issue in order to resolve this issue.
Pastor Alexandro Meonga of the Christian Assembly of Gemena is feasting his 68th birthday. The celebration took place in the church and a few hundred people took part at this glorious moment. A special day of Christmas has been organized by the Voice of God in Buchan, gathering many children from different churches of the city to participate at the ceremony at Tabernacle of Buchan in the Democratic Republic of Congo. You can now follow our web tour to discover what is happening on the End Time Message website. Good evening. Thank you all for watching our web tour on Gospelcross.net. Tonight, we start with Branham.org, showing on the homepage the testimony of a sister who used the faith promise to receive the healing from the burden that kept her down for years. This happened after listening to Brother Branham's message about the sign in a youth camp called Still Waters, organized by Joseph Branham. The sister praised God for this great healing. The website Z3 News brings a question on the headlines. Will Ivanka Trump fulfill the sixth prophetic vision of William Branham? The site notes that the first 5 visions have been duly fulfilled, and the sixth predicts that a beautiful, cruel, evil, and sneaky woman shall rise to rule over America and dominate the world with her authority, having full power over the people. This website sees the fulfillment of the sixth prophecy with Ivanka Trump, the very smart American president's daughter, who happens to be on the top class of the list and have a super appetite for the power. Being a billionaire's daughter and a millionaire's wife, she's got more than enough money to do whatever she wants, but she chose to work as her father's advisor in the White House. We are closing this tour with Gospelcross website, mentioning the heated situation disturbing the community of the church Tabernacle de la Parole. It says, explosive situation at TAP. Pastor Paul Mpoi has given up his duties. The website questions what is currently happening at the Tabernacle de la Parole. An uncertain feeling is felt across the church, and the resignation of all the board members, with the pastor's resignation being the tip of the iceberg, which was predictable by many for a long while. The church does not have any pastor for now. Here's how we end tonight's web tour. Good night. It's time to say goodbye and thank you for listening to us. Don't you forget to check our website at Gospelcross.net for more news about the message. Keep well.